What is like YouTube? This is Juan from the Gamers Ministry, and today is March 23rd, 2012, and the footage that we're watching was recorded on December 31st, 2011. And today I just want to show you everything. This is all after the credits. I'm going to show you the credits after this. We just skipped all of them. But right now, what I'm just want to show you everything that's in everything that you can see with the newly acquired Eagle Vision. Through Lucy might have dropped like hints here and there about being in the Animus way too long and having some kind of reverse effect. It's called the bleeding effect. I don't know if they mentioned the name here or in Assassin's Creed 2. That's not a spoiler or anything. It's just simply what they called what just happened to Desmond. And yeah, pretty much I just simply want to show you everything that's in here. I'm gonna have a link in the description that points to a place where all these symbols are explained what's in here, and like there's some fancy, like that right there, that text that we just saw. There's some fancy rearrangement of these texts in order to read hidden messages, like this right here. If you start at a specific corner and read in a specific direction, then you can read out a message. I really don't remember what it is, but like if you just look at it like this, it won't make any sense. But yeah, so all these things that are in here, they have different meanings and stuff like that. I do know of one symbol in all of this, and I know its meaning. I'll show it to you when we see it, and it has particularly a lot to do with Christianity in general. But yeah, let me tell you that let's take this opportunity to talk about symbology, right? So symbolism, it's a way to communicate a message. Like all these things that you see around, a lot of people you'll see that will paint them or draw them or do stuff like that without even understanding what it means. I remember me particularly as a kid, I would draw the Nazi star on the Nazi cross on my on my notebook, thinking that it was a cool symbol or whatever, but I didn't know the meaning of it. And when I grew up, I became an old, a grown adult, and I found out what it meant. Because in Puerto Rico, we really don't talk a whole lot about World War II. Although some Puerto Ricans fought in World War II, we just don't care. So, and it's sad. Truth be told, the whole point is that because nobody cared and stuff like that. I never really did understand what that meant, what the Nazi cross meant, and now that I know, it's like, ooh, that's something that you really don't want to draw. And so let's see what all the emails that we've been happening, and I think that we've read all these emails from Lucy, so there's no update. And we know that cavalry, the people that came and started fighting at the building, that was because she tipped them off, and we know that Warren is a bad guy. Well, we know that since the very start. So let's see what can we find under Vidic's email. And okay, just deadly headlines, nothing major. Yeah, now yeah, I guess you can take it very easy in order to read this. I'm not fast forwarding or anything like that. Yeah, I think I gave everyone I gave you a pretty good chance to view all of this. But anyway, back to symbology. Long story short, you have to be very, very, very careful about what you do when the things that you see or practice. There's one symbol that's very near the Animus, and it's an inverted. It's a very inverted star with a circle or two around it, and that's the star of Satan, like or Satanism. Everything what Christians call the enemy, and everything that the enemy stands for, or his actual name, Satan, Lucifer, whatever you want to call him. So this guy, that's the ancient serpent, the well, yeah, pretty much everything that is always standing between you and God, and help you and you know, and you doing God's will, it's the opposing force that's always stopping you. You got to think about it as in gravity. Every time you jump, gravity pulls you down. Well, Satan is the gravity that won't allow you to reach God, doesn't want you to reach God, and it's doing everything in its power. And it's at least from I don't know a whole lot on the teachings or concepts of demonology, but what the things I do know is that at least, you know, Satan and his buddies, they can influence you. They I mean, at least as a Christian, they can't possess you, and but they can influence you. They can plant thoughts in your head so you mess up or you screw up or stuff like that. Anyway, oh yeah, something that I remember now. Yeah, so like the star should be to the right now, to the right. If you like, it should have like point one point of the star pointing towards the animus. Like if the animus was the devil or something like that. But long story short, remember that conference room key code that we found earlier? Well, now it works, and we can go inside here. And what is inside here? I wonder. Nothing. I went probably Warren where we couldn't see him. It was sitting on the sofas to the back of us. But here's another laptop, and here's something interesting. So we have access to this. I don't know how we got this password, but we are project lead number 9. And Alan Rinkin apparently sent project lead number 9 an email that says, Warren, so we know that Desmond is subject 17. So there appears to have been 5 dudes behind us: 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So here's a couple of things to read. And yeah, I'll just let you read all that. Long story short, be careful about the symbols you write. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know what you're writing, do not draw these things. Do not do these things. I always tell my students at church that if you don't know what you're talking about, do not talk about it, because anyone can use these sort of things to against you. So I always teach them to be careful. And yes, like for me, I wish that someone had told me to, you know, long time ago, as a kid, do not draw the nasty star, because you don't know what that means, what it stands for. So now that I know, oh yeah, dude, I'm never going back to that. But yes, let's see what else. Long story. Okay, another thing. So, yeah, I'll probably don't have enough time to talk about it now, and I'll talk it more about over the credits. But as you see, every single assassination target that we had dropped little hints as into what was going on in the world, as in that God wasn't around, that he had long abandoned us, and that God doesn't exist, and these phantoms that people follow, but they're not real. And that's my major problem with this game. Although, truth be told, the game says at the very beginning that this game was developed by people of various faiths, and I understand that this is a game and it's not real. I still take great issue with this, because I've met people throughout my life, when they see a movie, they become so immersed in it that they become a reflection of what they learned in the movie, or their values in the movie, or something of the sort. Like, I'm going to take an example. Go to any Comic-Con event or anime event, and you see all these people that start dressing up, and they become a reflection of what they saw and, you know, and learned on the show, or any show that they watch, right? Like, they become a true reflection of what that is, and they embrace these things, and they declare it their own. And I'm like, wait, you know, this is a work of fiction, and you should be yourself, and be true to yourself, and be who you are, instead of trying to pass off as a character from a non-existent cartoon or show or whatever. So this is where I take a lot of issue on this sort of thing, and why I why I wanted to do this. Like, before people go off and say, "Oh yeah, Assassin's Creed, woo! This is what, you know, this is where it is. This is where it's at." Then I want people to, if they're gonna do it, you know, please watch and know that this is not real, this is not true, and you know, just simply get it together, and learn about what they are saying in here, and be careful what you're representing. When you put on, for example, an assassin's costume, you're saying effectively, God is not real, nothing is true, everything is permitted. So, like, for example, let's take the 10 Commandments, for example. So it's pretty much okay to go raping people, to go killing people, and doing all sorts of stuff. That's okay, don't worry about it. This, your parents, they don't matter, they don't care. Go steal stuff, it doesn't matter. There's no real point. So yeah, you gotta be careful, like, when you do these things, what you're representing. So it's the same thing with symbology, same thing when you lift this. So anyway, I want to show you this view attachment. Well, after you defeat Al-Mualim, there's this attachment that shows up, and it's a letter from Altair. And how did this get into the Animus? I have no clue, but it says, I'll let you read all of this. And after this, the video should be over. So I'm gonna say, God bless you, YouTube. There is one more episode. There's one more video after this. It's the credits. I recommend that every single one of you watches this credits video, because we must honor and respect all the developers that created this game. And you know what? I got a couple of things to say about that, and I'll just let you watch it and hear what I had to say about all the credits and all the developers and all these people, and how I feel about all of them in a respectful manner. I'm not going to diss them or anything like that. But anyway, so yeah, I'll let you read the end of this, and God bless you, and bye-bye, YouTubers, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye. It was a pleasure having you. Bye.